making San Andreas. It was a thrilling, heart-pounding ride.
For someone like Dwayne, being a larger-than-life hero, played to all his strengths.
Dwayne is spectacular in the film and someone who can do some extraordinary things.
Want to do a rehearsal with camera?
Yeah, brother, let's shoot.
While making San Andreas, we like to make sure that it's authentic and we put our actors through it. So they all take great pride in doing a lot of their own stunts.
They wanted to do it. They wanted to prove themselves. Dwayne is like, I get to rappel out of a helicopter? Hell yeah.
We open the movie and it's a mountain rescue. A car's gone off the side of a cliff. And it's really designed to set up Dwayne as our lead hero.
We constructed a helicopter pod, which we hung in one of the sound stages. And then we just went through how he would abseil practically. You know, he nailed that as he does.
Hold on here.
Winds are variable, 270 to 300.
Wind up, dust up.
My first day on set, I saw a girl hanging in a car on a cliff that had been made on the back lot with the biggest fan you've ever seen in your life blowing dust.
We had a cliff wall that was 4 or 5 stories tall and about 100 feet across with a car in the middle of it that would bounce up and down as it would if it was starting to slip away.
No, Natalie, do not move!
Because they jolt the car, they fully, the car jolts, and then they take it back up to 1.
We had a real helicopter up above. It was not operating, it was hung by a gimbal, but allowed Dwayne to rappel out of there for real.
Rolling, rolling, rolling!
I was rappelling out of the helo, all the way down, one shot down the side of a mountain.
Dwayne rappelled 150 feet. My camera chases him, overtakes him, and then comes around him as he lands.
We had wind and dust blowing around us, and it gives us this great real shot that is not a visual effect or a special effect. It was actually done for real.
Natalie, don't you worry, I'm gonna get you out of here! I got you! You've been great. You've been a trooper.
The man's ice, man. He's got ice running through his veins. There's nobody I'd rather have in extreme situations than Dwayne.
He's a big guy, big personality, big heart. I would want him to rescue me. You'd go, that guy. Thanks.
Dwayne Johnson in real life is the guy you want to come save you. He is a phenomenal athlete, and he will always go the extra mile for you.
You look at the guy and just have no question he can handle anything. You actually believe that this guy could do a lot of this stuff.
Not today. Emma, get to the roof. I'm in the helo, and I'll get you from there.
Dwayne Johnson needed a very strong female lead, Carla and Dwayne. They become a real team.
Rooftop Rescue is a complicated one because there's actually like so many miniature stunts within the sequence. Carla running across the top as this building is collapsing.
This movie has required a lot more on a physical level than any movie I've ever done. Never done wire work until this movie.
Carla is amazing. She gets on top of the building and then, you know, floor gives way. We called it the pancake rig.
She is powerful. We did 12 takes, and every time I went to her, I said, we can move on. She was always like, no, I got one more in me.
The roof is collapsing. She has a near fall into an elevator shaft.
Wow. That was a really good take.
She gets dragged up into the helicopter by Dwayne.
It's in these moments when characters are in crisis that all of a sudden only what really matters counts. It's been so great to be able to get on the edge of that cliff with Dwayne and jump out metaphorically, and actually literally in this film, together, because with that kind of trust, it just comes much better work. So we've been having a blast.
Got you!
Once they rescue her from the rooftop, All of downtown is collapsing. All the skyscrapers are coming down. We would put them up in the helicopter gimbal and start whipping them around. I built 3 gimbals. Like, one would do this, and one would go extremes like that.
Hold on!
The other one would rock like this.
I mean, we've been at, these crazy angles. It's been very thrilling on that level.
There's nothing that has wings or wheels that I do not operate in this movie, including a boat. A very fast boat.
One of the biggest challenges was there's a whole sequence where Dwayne and Carla are driving through the streets of San Francisco in a boat. And as a result, we had to come up, how do we pull that off?
They'd found that the boat on the gimbal on the green screen stage really worked the best because it gave you the most flexibility so that they can then just focus on just what they need to focus on, which is just the acting.
Helicopter gimbal was then modified to become the boat gimbal. Turning it around and adding another axis would mean a hovering chopper can then become a boat.
The tsunami hits, and Ray makes a decision that he's not going to lose another family member.
We have a big underwater rescue sequence. That was probably the hardest thing that anybody in the movie had to do. Dwayne and Alex really had to train for that.
There was a lot of swim training that involved train yourself to hold your breath for as long as possible.
Really demanding for her was obviously her drowning sequence. Being rescued by Dwayne, basically getting dragged around the set pieces, underwater and then under doorways and up stairwells, and she did great.
The big thing with Dwayne was, because I need him to move very quickly, was finding ways that he could propel himself through that set, whether it was handholds or push points or anything that he could grab onto, that he could use his upper body strength.
My character's drowning, and there's just a little bit of room between the water and the ceiling. You get this claustrophobic feeling. If you just don't pay attention to, all the safety people, you can sort of convince yourself that this is terrifying.
As we slowly sink the set, the water level's rising as Dwayne rescues his on-set daughter.
We're capturing the action of him breaking through a doorway. It's all submerged. And he goes for Blake and brings her out.
One more push up. Yes, sure. Can you come up a little bit higher and try that?
Okay, cut there.
Cutting there.
There was a lot of complex stuff, especially when he was carrying Alex, that he had to do. That was probably the hardest stuff, just because you don't have all your hands and you're in 9 feet of water on a submerged floor. The best thing about Dwayne is, like, any challenge he sees, he's like, all right, I'm gonna nail this. He's not intimidated by the moment. That's one of the amazing parts of the movie, is that I think a lot of the emotion that comes with that is not something people are expecting from Dwayne. But that's one of the reasons why I really loved him for it, was I'd never seen him play a character like this. And he was great.
To watch it back now, you realize just what great value that brought to the movie, because it truly immerses the audience. There's a fabric to what they're watching that just feels real, and we knocked it out of the park.
Come on!